he will determine what is the best level of service for this city. And as the city manager in charge with the responsibility of selecting and appointing the city manager, I'll make sure that he has that freedom and is empowered to build his department in order to ensure the safety of all of our citizens, residents and businesses alike. So we are very pleased to announce within less than 100 days of starting this city, the start of a new police chief for the city of Brookhaven. I'm very honored to introduce to you Mr. Gary Yandura, and I will now turn it over to Mayor J. Max Davis.
Thank you all. Today is a historic day because it is the start of Brookhaven becoming a safer community. And the safety of Brookhaven's residents is paramount to the city of Brookhaven and to our new chief, Yandura. Chief Yandura's record of reducing crime in the city of College Park, where he served for 10 years, is extraordinary. Crime was reduced significantly during his 10-year tenure. He is now, until becoming the Brookhaven chief, he's the chief in the city of Hiram, Georgia. He is credited with reducing crime there as well. Chief Yandura started his law enforcement career in Lake Forest, Illinois, which is about 30 miles north of Chicago, where he spent 24 years. He is a graduate of the FBI Academy and is certified by the Georgia Police Officers Standards and Training Council. He has a master's in public administration from Roosevelt University in Chicago and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Illinois. It is my honor now to introduce Gary Yandura as Brookhaven's first police chief. Y'all please give him a hand.
Thank you. I'm humbled and honored to be chosen as police chief in the city of Brookhaven. I'm really looking forward to getting things started. As the mayor and city manager both advised, things are moving at extraordinary pace, and we like to keep that going to get our citizens and our businesses kept safe here. Right now we're going to be in the process of analyzing all the data, trying to choose the top management staff and get into all the basics of starting a police department. We're really looking forward to doing all that by analyzing the information and putting people in place in the right places. I'll closely be working with city staff, with city managers, city council, and the mayor, and what we'd like to do too is get heavy involvement from the community to find out exactly what their needs and expectations are, and we look forward to working with all of them to provide the best services that we possibly can. So with that being said, we look at having officers on the street this summer sometime, and we're analyzing how many we're going to need and where they're going to be placed. So thank you.
We'll open it to questions now, guys.
Come on, Melissa.
Chief, is this the first time you've had a startup operation that you're going from ground up?
As far as a startup, yes.
What are you looking for? What are you?
Actually, I've already been in contact with numerous chiefs of the area, the departments that have had initial startups. Chief from Sandy Springs, the chief from Dunwoody, chief from Johns Creek. So I'm a firm believer in not reinventing the wheel, and I'm a believer also in sharing resources and working together and forming partnerships with the other agencies, which we've already started in the initial stages.
Yeah, I know some of these groups, it's a lot to build from the ground up, from your own investigative unit to SWAT team. Do you plan on maybe partnering with some of these other smaller groups in the area, smaller organizations, maybe on things like SWAT, that kind of thing?
Yeah, Sandy Springs and Alpharetta, and a lot of those groups actually started up, and I was used to, when I was actually in Illinois, we started up a combined unit like that, and I'm a firm believer with the partnerships in that you could actually utilize a small portion of your resources and come up with a better product.
What's the timeline on hiring? When are we going to start to see some of these jobs open for folks?
As soon as possible. We're actually reviewing some candidates right now. The city's actually receiving some information.
Chief, you touched on it a bit. What's the first order of business for you?
I think it's to get the command staff in line so you have a good basis to pick and assist in starting this new department. And then what you have to do is look at your long-term items as far as needs of the department and needs of the city. So equipment needs that are going to take a long time to get in here after being ordered.
What do you see as some of the biggest challenges
layout of the city, you've got, it's about 6 miles in length and about 2.5 miles, 3 miles wide. So it's just the area coverages. It's a diverse community. You have all different facets you're going to have to monitor and provide protection for. And I believe in proactive policing, so that's one of the things we're going to be looking at too.
Personally, how do you feel about making history? You will be one that we will never forget, no matter how
I'm not really making history. I think this is the 6th recent city that has instituted a new police department, so I've got a lot of resources to back up and look at. So,
Chief, you're making history. Good history, good history.
What are people going to see different versus dealing currently with county police versus having their own local department?
Well, we're going to be confined within the city limits of Brookhaven, so we won't be getting called out outside of the city area. I'm a firm believer residents and the businesses are going to expect visibility of the police department, and we're going to provide that. That's one of the priorities. I mean, perception is just as important as the actual crime statistics that come about.
Do you have a hard date when you'll have your first cars on the street? Yeah.
We're looking at the summer sometime. That's just a rough idea right now.
How does your past experience uniquely qualify you to be the chief of police of a municipality with a majority minority citizenry? I know some of your experience with College Park and some of the other places. How do you plan on working through that here in Brookhaven?
Well, first off, you actually meet with the different groups within the community. We'll see what their needs are, and we'll work with them, whatever group or whatever area it might be. And then we'll also try to hire to meet that diversity so that we have people who can communicate with the people in those areas too. So,
Thanks.
You mentioned you're a proponent of proactive policing. Do you have any kind of plan for any, or thoughts, early plan for any kind of community-based neighborhood type of patrol plan or anything like that?
any of the previous departments I worked for, I actually initiated in the departments the Citizens Police Academies, neighborhood watches. We had business watches. There's a lot of technology out there right now too that will assist us. We've got various calling programs that will notify people if something happens in their neighborhood. All this is done in conjunction so that the residents and the different community groups that we're going to be working with have some resource on getting information. And we like to share all that information because the police department can't work on their own. We need the help of the entire community and business.
You guys have any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Seriously, we appreciate it.